Your immune system is like an army, and a vaccine is like a commander that trains the army to fight against infections. To train this army, the commander sends antigens for the army to practice fighting against. These antigens can either be parts of the pathogen, such as its genetic material, or a pathogen that has already been killed or weakened. Of course, this commander is aware that the army will not see the point in fighting against a pathogen's genetic material or a pathogen that is already dead or weakened. This is why it also sent USBs alongside the antigens. These USBs will program the naval machines or dendritic cells in the body to command the army to train. There are two types of USBs the commander can use: pathogen-associated molecular patterns or specific structures found on pathogens, or adjuvants like aluminum salts, which are similar in shape and structure as pathogen-associated molecular patterns. These USBs will then be plugged into the USB ports, the pattern recognition receptors, on the dendritic cells. This thus activates the dendritic cells and causes them to change shape and structure, just like a transformer. With these changes, dendritic cells can bind to the antigens and migrate to lymph nodes, where they present the antigens to members of the army. T cells and B cells, programmed by the USBs, the dendritic cells now command the army to practice fighting against the antigens the same way they would fight against pathogens. Members of the army become so terrified of the machines and fear the consequences of disobeying their commands. Thus, they all begin training. Some of the B cells create an arsenal of weapons called antibodies, which can be used to attack the antigens. Some of the T cells destroy cells that have already become infected by the antigen. Meanwhile, the rest of the army studies the antigen so that it can remember how to fight against the infection in case it encounters it in the future. While immunity via infection is often stronger, it can be highly risky to contract infections like hepatitis B, which can increase your risk of cancer. Meanwhile, a vaccine does not involve this risk. In other words, vaccines save lives.